Welcome back, everyone. Episode 15, final episode of season 1.
Wow.
And it is Agave Man, the one and only, the masked one.
The one and only.
What's
Nice.
up, baby?
How you doing?
Doing good, homies. How about you?
Doing well. So, tell us a little bit about yourself and how your tequila journey started.
I'm the masked one, Agave Man. It all began in 98, thanks to my uncle. Took me to a local Mexican cantina. He was like, Sobrino, let's go down here. I'm like, Uncle, you sure I can get in? Because I'm 15 at the time. I'm like, but he's like, nephew, this is Mexico. There ain't no rules. So I was like, let's go. And he took me to a bar. He hooked me up with a paloma and a little shot of siete leguas.
Nice.
So I'm glad
Nice.
he gave me the good stuff at first. You know what I mean?
Where were you living at the time?
That time I was already living in South Central LA.
Oh, good.
So
good,
I was just visiting
nice.
my hometown.
And where are you originally from, Agave Man?
It's Degollado, Jalisco, which is 90 minutes from Arandas.
Oh, okay. Okay. So fly to Guadalajara and drive?
Yeah, pretty much.
Okay. Is it past Arandas?
Yeah, it's going down more south towards like Michoacan.
Got it. Is it more elevation than Arandas?
No, it's lower because you're going more down.
Ah, I see. Okay.
So we're like right next to La Piedad, Michoacan, which is, I would say that's bigger than Degollado. So it would be like, I don't know, like a bigger city in LA, like in California, you know what I mean? Not LA, but like whatever next city is type of deal.
San Francisco, San Diego, something.
Yeah, kind of like El Cajon, San Diego.
Oh,
Okay.
okay.
That's
Yeah.
not bad at all.
So like a good suburb.
Yeah.
We loved Arandas. We almost got killed there because Matt's driving. Actually, it was,
No.
actually,
Matt's driving get you killed anywhere?
it was Google Maps that
No.
almost got us killed.
No.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, you told me. Yeah.
We ended up under a tree, driving through the tree went over the road, so we drove under and we got to this little farmhouse, asked for directions to El Pendillo, and the guy's like, "Well, you're on El Pendillo, but you're not at the right place, and it's going to take you like 30 minutes to get over to the other side."
It was one of those Google Maps. Your destination is 15 minutes away. 30 minutes later, it's still 15 minutes away.
Yeah.
And it has you doing circles.
Yeah.
That's the way it is.
Yes, and the tree was electrified because they had pushed a power pole into it. So we're like, oh, don't reach out and touch.
And the car that we had barely cleared the tree. Thank
God we had a Renault.
Did you have the insurance on it?
Hell yeah, you have to have the insurance on it.
Okay, good.
But luckily, his girl oblaed for us, and she was able to finagle the number down to a reasonable amount of pesos.
That's not bad. That's not bad.
Somebody was looking after you.
Yeah, for sure.
The Agave gods were on your side.
Thank God that time. No, it was good. I've always said Mexico is such a fun, great place to go, and you can always find trouble. If you go looking for trouble anywhere in the world, you'll find it. But if you go to most places, especially down in Mexico, I've always felt very safe down there. That's what I tell a lot of all my friends. Are like, oh my God, aren't you scared to go? No, I'm not at all.
They exaggerate. I'm like, you could just get hurt in LA or Chicago. You don't need to go far.
Yeah,
right.
I'm way more strapped with my gat when I'm in LA than I am in Guadalajara.
Yeah, I'm more afraid in freaking Compton than going to Guadalajara.
Yeah, and you know what? You're the first person we've had. We've had a lot of people on the show, but you're the first person we've had that started his tequila journey in puberty. Like 15 years old. I mean, everybody else was like, well, first I had beer, then I had vodka, then I had bourbon. You're like, nah, 15, first shot. Bring it on.
Well, and how impressive is the first tequila he drinks is Siete Leguas,
right?
Like
that's
usually,
no fair.
Yeah, like I remember I was 12. I went to a camp in the Sierra Nevadas, and we did this 4-day hike into the mountains. And my friend, who was from Southern California, like one of the kids, and we're all like 12, 13 years old, we found a huge bottle of Jose Cuervo,
Ooh.
half drunk, in this tree. And I'm like, I'm not, my fat ass ain't climbing up that tree. Well, he scoured this tree, grabbed that Jose Cuervo, and he was drinking that. And he was gone. He was obliterated. We were like 12 and 13 years old. And I'm like, so that's your, like, we always say, like, your first experience is that steep crap tequila. So at least you got something good.
From a homeless dude. So he had his first drink and his first herpes.
We're just in the middle of the forest. We're in the middle of the Sierra Nevadas.
In a bottle?
Yes. Weird. Yeah.
Oh my God. That's a weird place to find this random bottle.
So did you grow up in South Central?
Yeah.
What was that like? Tell us about that experience.
Ooh, where to begin?
Was it LAPD jurisdiction or LA County Sheriff's?
No, LAPD.
Okay.
Well, the way that they're divided is, so you will have a lot of neighborhoods in South Central that is LAPD, and then they have sheriffs right next door.
Right, like the county line.
They compete with each other, and they're like, if you want to commit crimes, go to the sheriff's side. They're like, don't commit crimes over here on our side. They literally will tell you that.
Get beat to death.
That's awesome.
Yeah, so they don't even play like teams, like supporting each other. They hate on each other too.
They probably just transport to the line and drop them off here.
Yeah,
but that's always a thing in law enforcement. They always think like, oh, all cops are on cops. I know, like no. the deputies hate the officers. County hates the city cops. The rural cops hate the city cops. It's always.
I don't understand
the troopers hate the city cops. It's like the FBI agents
and the FBI,
and we all hated the FBI.
This is so this is during the riots. So you got to understand that during this time in the 90s, you got the riots going on, the Ronnie King thing. Everything's hot. South Central's on fire. The gangs are on fire. Everybody's killing each other. And then it's like the cops are corrupt. I don't know if you're familiar with the ramp-up corruption.
Oh, yeah. Everybody's familiar with that.
I mean, it's literally in a lot of documentaries, especially the Death Row documentaries with Tupac and everything. And, that's the life that we were living. So they're burning down the buildings. I kid you not. We climb up to our apartment, second bedroom, to see through the window, and everything's on fire. And we're like, damn, are we next? Because we're like literally half a mile from where everything's burning, so you can feel the heat. And I'm just a teenager, and I'm like, Dad, what the hell's going on? Do we need to run back to Mexico, or what's going on? I mean,
so how did that like influence or affect you going forward from there? Is that something that stuck with you?
Not really, because I never really shopped in those businesses, so it wasn't really like my shopping area anyway. So I don't feel like I didn't see an impact in it, at least because I was a teenager, so I didn't pay much attention to it financially,
Yes, but South Central LA is in all reality a super segregated part of our world, of the country.
Yeah, it is.
Like there's the black side neighborhoods, there's Hispanics
segregated, but South Central is segregated.
Within some parts of the country are far more desegregated. Like I remember you telling me about like Boston, and I couldn't put my finger on it, and you're like, it's the most segregated city ever, and I'm like, oh, that makes sense. But then like South Central, you've got like Hispanic neighborhoods, you've got black neighborhoods. It's very compartmentalized.
And then you got a few whites that didn't want to move out.
Right.
They blend in.
I can remember being one of my earliest memories of living in Cleveland, 7 years old, looking around and thinking to myself, I don't know where I want to be. I don't know what's for me, but I know this is not it. I know this ghetto that I see. I don't know what else is out there.
Yeah, there's more to life than this.
It's got to be more. I'm just a little kid.
I think all people think, well, I don't know.
I'm just a little kid. I'm thinking there's got to be more than whatever this is. That's why I was so quick and often to move coming up. I didn't know what I was looking for, but I know what I wasn't looking for.
And that was kind of me. I would look out and go, there's got to be something more to this world than just, Las Vegas. Like it's a cool city. In the 90s, it was fun growing up here. And I grew up very privileged, but still I was like, hey man, there's got to be more to this world. And I remember in the riots, in the 92 riots, we my mom's place was not far from like what we call the historic West Side, which was where black people had to live during the segregation days of the 50s and, you know, into the 60s until they got rid of it. And it was like they burned. There used to be a gas station right where the Metro headquarters is, and they got all the way down there and torched that gas station. I remember seeing the smoke from my front yard, and people were losing their minds because they were like, "Oh, we're going to lose downtown. Like they're coming.
Okay,
they're going to try to steal down. They're going to
south on MLK.
They came down south,
so
but they
out past the interstate.
Well, they also crossed east over under I-15 in the tracks, and they tried to get down to the casino corridor, and that's where the Vegas cops were like, I mean, I'm 14 years old, 15 years old in 92, and it was like, it was crazy.
Well, and Sammy Davis Jr.'s house is over there, the Harrison house. It's on that west side there.
Yeah, but that's probably north on MLK.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah,
but yeah, it was like
same time.
Yeah, it was very weird.
Oh, and I'd say all the time, people all the time talking about now, they talk about public unrest. I said, that's
They
because you don't remember the 90s.
They have no idea of the 90s.
They have no idea. You got the little stuff we know. You think that's public unrest? You know what the 80s and 90s were like?
Or we didn't have how about the 60s?
Oh, forget about it. That doesn't even count. That was just
I wasn't born yet, so I can't.
Yeah. So where do you live now? Are you still in SoCal?
No, I live in Ohio.
Oh shit.
Oh, where at?
Oh, so you're a couple hours.
2 hours from Columbus. It's called Portsmouth, Ohio.
Oh yeah, I went to Ohio University, man. Athens, Ohio.
Yeah, I've heard of it.
Yeah, I know Portsmouth has a campus from Athens, but I went to Ohio University. I went to Cleveland State for graduate school.
I went to see. I took the whole family to see Kobe Bryant's last game in Cleveland.
Oh yeah,
we got to see it. We made it through the snowstorm to get there to watch it. And my daughters at the time were tiny, so they were like, "Why are we going over here again?" I'm like, "Because this is one of the greatest players ever, and it's his last game in Ohio."
Yeah, Kobe, that was good stuff.
But now we look back at it, and it's like we're part of that history, you know?
Mm-hmm.
We were there.
So what brought you from South Central through Mexico and Ohio? What brought you to where you are now?
Work. I wanted to self-improve, and because in LA, like I wanted to get my own restaurant, but it was too expensive, and we didn't have funding, me and my cousin, so I followed him to Ohio. He got offered an opportunity, so I came to help him out. And that's how I moved to Ohio from South Central. This is back in 2005.
Oh, wow.
Oh, good. Okay, good. And you said you've been masked since 98?
Yeah.
Okay, so what brought that about?
The mask?
Yep.
No, the mask, I've always been a fan since I was a kid, since I was 5, because I watched Lucha Libre in Mexico.
Of course.
So that's how it all started for me. Honestly, I always wanted to be a wrestler, but it never came through for me because I didn't know where to search, and my dad never wanted me to be part of violence, any type of violence, whether it was even fake or not. But he didn't want me to be part of it, you know.
Oh yeah.
So that's how I eventually, when I started making my Instagram and sharing my tequila experience, and I had this bag full of masks, like Lucha Libre masks. At the time, I didn't have this mask yet. So then I'm like, what could I do with these masks so I can just stand out? So I was like, well, maybe what if I review my tequilas with these masks? So when I started my journey with the mask, I was like, there's a bunch of different like bootleg masks I had to wear and stuff.
Who makes your masks?
Right now, it's a guy in Mexico. He makes masks for professional wrestlers. His name is Jade Masks, and they're all like handmade. So his stitching is like double and triple. So like you can't see it right now, but it's really thick. This mask is really thick. And it's made to my size, so it's not like it won't fit everybody.
And was it called Jade Mask?
Yeah, the mask maker, his name is Jade Masks.
Okay.
Interesting.
He's dope. And it's a funny story how I got to find him, if you guys want to hear it.
Of course we want to hear it, yeah.
So one day I'm scrolling through Instagram and I see, the jarrito, the Mexican soda.
Yes.
And they had a mask on there with a jarrito, and it just has like a cantarito. I mean, it doesn't look that impressive, but I still wanted it because I love masks. And I reach out to them and I'm like, yo, can I get a mask like that? How much you want for it? And they're like, oh, we can't give it to you or sell it, but we'll give you the mask maker that makes it for us. So they contacted me with this guy, and I was like, that's dope. That's even better for me. And that's how my mask came to be, because I contacted him and I sent him the artwork, which my brother, he did my artwork for this mask. My daughter did the artwork for the other mask, which I have here if you guys want to see it.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
But that's how I got in contact with the mask maker, through the brand Jarritos.
Nice.
They were too selfish to give me the mask. Sorry, Jarritos, I love you, but you were cheap to give me that cheap ass mask. Anyways, so this is the one that my daughter, rest in peace, she drew for me a year before she passed away.
Oh, that's nice.
Oh, wow.
That's awesome.
And
That's
this is what it
awesome.
looks in an actual mask. The artwork looks different versus the mask, but this is handmade.
Now, how long once you write the art out, once you put the sketch, how long does it take for him to get it to you?
6 to 8 months.
Damn.
Because
Wow.
he has a waiting list. So it's not
Yeah.
like you can say, yo, make me a mask now.
Yeah.
Unless you
That
want
makes
to pay
sense.
extra.
Which part of, do you know where he's at in Mexico?
I believe he is in Jalisco.
Nice.
That's
But
good
he
stuff.
does a ton. So he has like a waiting list. So minimum, like say if I wanted one made now, he's going to tell me it probably won't be done till December.
Wow.
Because he has a waiting
It
list. So,
takes.
yeah.
So hopefully you just don't need it right now then.
Yeah. I mean, I would love to get more, because you could just, the thing about the mask is that you can get just a bunch of different color variations. So color wise is endless. So then, like, for instance, in this one was paid for by a brand, Tequila Papacito.
Oh,
Okay.
wow.
So they
Okay.
paid for it. So that's why I had to get their logo on the back. So the back, you can switch it always. So, like, say if you guys wanted one, you could put your logo on the back and get my design. I could tell him, and he would send it direct to you guys, so I would never see the mask, and you guys can get it direct, and they would say tactical podcast here, tequila and everything.
Oh,
Nice.
that's good stuff.
Yeah, that's what a lot of wrestlers would do. So like they always switch out like the back or the side piece, but the front always stays the same because it's like the original piece of them. And
Absolutely.
now this one, mine's just like it's based off of Rey Mysterio mask, the eyes. If you look at the eyes,
Mm-hmm.
it's like the same of his eyes from his mask, because I'm like his number one fan. And then like my brother put the agave plant here, and then these are all agave plants going on the sides,
That's awesome.
and it has like my
Genius.
initials in the back. I got a blue one too. I got these made years ago.
Oh, nice.
So it's like the
That's
Blue
cool.
Demon color. I don't know if you're familiar with the Blue Demon wrestler.
That's good stuff.
And this one actually, Sergio Cruz signed it. His signature's on there with Alex from Siempre.
Oh, I
Nice.
see.
Yeah,
Oh, that's
yeah.
nice.
Yeah, when I took it to Mexico.
Now, and you talked about how you came up with the idea of doing your reviews, wearing the mask, and how that kind of came about. Do people only associate with you, and are you happy with that, or would you rather them see you as yourself? Does that make sense?
No,
Or do
because
people
this
only
is
associate?
me.
It is you. Got it.
The whole gimmick is me. I live this gimmick. Like if
All
you
right.
like if you meet me in person and see me without the mask, I'm still like the same person. But I'm just not wearing the mask.
Got it. So it's not a gimmick. It's your
Yeah,
personality.
obviously I exaggerate the voice a little bit, like Agave Man, gotta
So the
pump
mask
it up,
isn't always the mask.
Gotta Hulk up like Hulk Hogan.
That's right. Yeah. So that's
But
good. So
it's a
it's
big
not.
part of me because it's my culture and I love lucha libre, I love tequila. So I basically merged the two worlds into one.
That's awesome.
So
Yeah.
talk to us about, speaking of those tequilas,
Yeah.
everything we ask every guest we have. You're on an island. You get 2 bottles.
Oh, I thought
my-
we were doing 5.
No,
5.
no, not
Yeah, let's
5.
hear the 5.
No, anybody can do 5. You
2
get
bottles?
2 bottles, then we'll expand it.
Oh,
How's that? Is that fair?
All right,
right.
your top 2, and then we'll expand it 3.
All right. You get 2 bottles.
Man, I hope they don't get mad.
I'm sorry.
I
If you have
love you all,
sponsors.
homies. They put me on the spot. If I had to, like you guys say, like in an island, I would definitely have to go with the new one from Siempre Muerto that's not even out. Just
Yeah,
because it would get me there quick, like drunk, because it's super high proof. And it's no joke. This high proof is gonna be dangerous when it comes out.
you recently posted something about that one, didn't you?
Yeah, we had the pleasure to have it in Mexico. So, quick story. It's Rudy, Rudy from the Tequila Snobs.
Yep.
So it's
Mhm.
his 50th birthday. And I'm like waking up on a Sunday morning. Alex from Siempre texts me like, "Yo, you want to come to Mexico and surprise Rudy for his birthday?" But I'm like, "Bro, I don't got no money right now because I'm dealing with my daughter stuff." And he's like, "I got you though." And I was like, "Man, damn, for real?" So I'm like, "Fuck it, let's go." So he's like, he flies me in for less than 24 hours. I get in there by 1 p.m. Surprise Rudy, he's laughing his ass off like, "Damn, he can't believe I'm there and shit," because Alex told him like I'm his surprise and shit. He's like looking around, where's my surprise? And here I show up. Off
Did you
the
jump out of a cake?
No, I jumped off a van like walking
No.
down because I had to go down the bar and shit. But it
Nice.
was awesome because then we went to the distillery. So the whole time after that, we're in the distillery, and they got this whole setup of new Viva Mexico products that they're not even released. And Siempre has like 4 or 5 new things on there. I'm excited right now. Like, I think that's what they had. After the tour, we get to try all these stuff, and that's what we tried Muerto, and then we tried. There's another one called Cosmos. Like, man, Sergio Cruz does not play any fucking games. Like, it's ridiculous.
Yeah, he's on fire with
Yeah.
everything that he's doing.
He's a mad scientist. Like this dude. I mean, I don't care what people think. If I'm kissing his ass, I am not kissing his ass. He's not giving me shit or any money, but he shows real love. But this dude right now, I am not exaggerating. He's probably working on 20 some brands, and not just Viva Mexico or Siempre. He has other brands under his belt that people don't even know that he co-works with. That's how busy he stays.
Well, I mean, he's on Ensueño,
Yeah.
he's on Yayo,
Yep.
Siempre.
Espacial, or what is that one with this Espacial, the new one with the spaceship looking Mayan thing?
Um,
He's doing he did this famous actress Cal del Castillo, the Honor, but I think they sold the brand. He told me. And then
Well, I just find everything coming out of that distillery is pretty amazing stuff.
like almost like with exaggeration, 95% of it it's freaking hit.
Yeah.
Honestly,
We just
I didn't like the Honor, to be honest, but that was just me. But
which one?
the Honor from the Mexican actress Kate del Castillo, Honor Tequila,
Yeah.
Honor.
I just opened the bottle of Lost Lore last week. I couldn't
That is-
believe how amazing it was.
That is fire.
That's when you
Yeah.
guys have to go to Cali to
I
get.
had to go to Cali to get it.
no, you can buy it online.
Yeah, yeah. but
Oh, I'm talking about in person.
yeah, I bought it out of down out of Norco when I was down there a couple months ago.
But see, that's brands like that. Like you were like this guy can't get any better, and then he's like with that, and it's like, God damn, how did
Yeah.
you do this?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
He's like the like Chef Ramesses of freaking tequila. That's the way I see it.
Yeah, for sure.
You just
Right.
gave me a TV show idea.
Exactly. we need to get him a TV show.
Hell's Distillery.
Yes,
Sergio
that
Cruz
would
is
be
screaming at
dope.
people.
You're fired. They're all drinking. You're fired for not drinking fast enough.
It's horrible.
So that was a very good way for you to get around not telling us what your top was. Well played, man. Way to beat around the bush and not give us your list. I like it.
Well, you
I
gotta
like
see
it.
how
Well
they did to
played.
me in the LA Tequila Fest years ago. They were like, "Oh, so what's the best of the best?" And she kept pressing me. So then at the end, I was just like, "Boom, boom, boom, boom," and then I just left. I was like, "You're not gonna corner me."
He Irish goodbye the entire festival.
That's right.
Yeah, you're not gonna corner me. Like, come on, I got a lot of homies.
Do you find you like Highlands tequila or Lowlands tequila?
Is Aranda Highlands? Because
Yes, around yeah.
Yeah, I like Arandas better.
Yeah, I think I'm kind of leaning towards that anymore too. But I gotta say, I drank the Cascahuín Tahona that we brought back from Mexico a year ago. I could just drink that for the rest of my life.
Is that Lowlands or Highlands?
That's
that train track shit.
No, but I don't know if they might be buying their agaves. I don't know. I didn't talk to
You have to
Kevin. I
be
don't
careful with
remember.
those. And see, there's one in the, sorry to interrupt you, but there's one in Tequila Town. I'm not gonna say the name, and people get pissed when I say they overhyped. But you know, I got information. They buying their agave somewhere else now, and it's like, dude, you're lying to people now.
I think I know who you're talking about.
They have the agave plant on top of the bottle, so I'll leave it at that.
Would that be a brand that rhymes with Mortaleza?
Yep. And then people get pissed when I say they overhyped, and it's like, I don't hate on him. I don't got no hate towards Guillermo and the family, but if you're buying the plants, you need to tell people.
We confirmed it last time we were there that they switched up the agaves.
Right?
Consistency and transparency.
Yeah, because they can't keep up with the numbers.
They admitted it, right?
I don't know that they admitted it. It's just it was just. I think they just said, "Hey, let's change some things up and let's start buying our agaves from the Arondis area."
Depends on what your definition of the word is. They went Bill Clinton.
They went Bill Clinton.
They didn't admit it, but they didn't deny it. All right.
But honestly, they're good. But it's like, honestly, they're not even my top 5. So I'm like, why?
Okay, and in that same line, I just got the same. Yeah.
Speaking of your top 5, what is your top 5 then?
Right now. But it's speaking right now. Not of all time, but like right now, it would have to be the Añejo Cardenas, which I had, and it was freaking fire. The Muerto, the Yayo, because Yayo never misses, but especially that tropical flavor they have on the Repo.
Yeah,
it's so
that
good.
Repo is dangerous. Los Flores surprised me. It took me. And then Don Vicente right now. This is just right now, like in the last
Don
couple
Vicente
weeks.
is fire.
I couldn't believe how good it was.
Have we ever had it?
So we had it at the G4 and water tasting in LA.
Yeah.
And I love G4.
Water.
Yeah, I think
you took it too far.
I'll always love Fortaleza just because I've been there and I know what they're doing. I know that they switched up their agaves from lowlands to highlands. I'm not mad at them at all. I love their process. I love the artistry of it. But I find that I'm kind of like you. I think I like the highlands agaves a little bit more than the lowlands, and it's strictly personal preference. I've also had stuff from the lowlands that I'm like, yeah, I love this. This lactic minerality versus the agave forward stuff. It just depends on what you like that day. And some days I just like, hey, that's different.
Exactly.
Cool. I like it. It's different. It's unique.
See, for me, the Highlands is more mineral forward in the taste. And then you get the agave on the back end of it.
Okay.
Have you guys noticed something, though, in the last 2 years? It's been the last 2 years of the high proofs and the blancos. Who's really talking about añejos or repos? They're rarely even mentioned.
Well, that's because they taste like shit.
And they take too long to produce.
I mean, I don't think it's that. I think that it's
but
just
it's the year of the high proof, right?
Yeah, like I love high proofs. I'm a high proof Blanco
absolutely high
fan
Blanco.
Through and through. But I think the reason that we don't hear a lot about the añejos and even a good portion of the reposados is just because it just takes a lot longer to produce them. You have to wait months and then years for a good, añejo, extra añejo if you want. Whereas you get a good high proof, it's literally out like this. It's right off the still, straight to bottle, and you're good to go.
Yes.
And I also think that we're living in a day and age where I think whiskey and bourbon specifically has dominated alcohol culture so much. And that's my story where I love all alcohol for the most part. Yeah, I just can't drink it. Like the only thing I can really drink anymore that doesn't mess me up the next day is tequila, a good Blanco and I'm a reposado guy in the fall, but I don't drink a lot of añejos. And I think what it is a lot of people who are walking away from brown liquor because they know, kind of like where I'm at, where like, why do I wake up at 4:00 in the morning and I have horrible heartburn, and I don't get that with tequila. So
Or
I
a
think a lot of
hangover.
us are just coming over to go, just give me that clear Blanco, that Blue Weber agave medicine right there. That's what we want. And so I think that has a little bit to play too.
Well, that's how I actually turn a lot of people that are whiskey lovers. So I give them the repos and añejos. So I bring them to the tequila side. And then they're like,
Right.
"Oh, Agave Man, what else you got? Like, tell us what's good, what's bad."
So to segue into the next question, then, for those new people switching over to tequila from whiskey, what are two brands that you would recommend, either Reposado or Añejo, in order to get them to switch over?
Definitely the new batch from Siempre, because Sergio Cruz is making the Reposado, and we had it in Mexico, and it was amazing. And then I would think definitely Yayo, because people like tropical stuff, so they don't like rough stuff. They're not ready like us. You know what I mean? They're not trained.
The tropical is amazing.
It is.
I mean,
Isn't that
even
crazy?
the traditional is great as well. But
But every barrel is like different.
honestly, like if I had to pick between the tropical and the traditional, like it's going to be the tropical the whole way, because
It's
for
crazy.
me, you get a lot more of that rum flavor, that tropical, that vanilla,
Yeah.
the oakiness to it. You get a lot of those flavors out of that
Oh yeah.
bottle.
And don't forget about
That's
the
what we just got in
underdogs.
Mysterio, right?
No. So that one was the traditional.
Underdogs.
So the one that we had 1 or 2 episodes ago, that was the tropical. That was the
I
one.
thought the bottle that I won was tropical, or that was.
Mm-mm.
Well, there's two. Yeah, but the
Well,
one that he had.
So there's a greenish, like teal kind of label on top. That is the tropical, and then the yellowish one is the traditional.
Are you all guys drinking Vivo?
Yes,
How,
Jay
how
is
fire that
actually.
is.
Oh, it's amazing. Jay is actually drinking, or was drinking, a watermelon spicy margarita.
You made it yourself?
I did.
Yeah, Matt's my personal
Bartender for the podcast.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he's my personal bartender.
I seen that last time.
Somebody tried to kill me.
It's my first time having this. It's excellent.
Hey, I be catching you guys shows when I take long trips. Like I just let it play and I hear it in the car.
Nice.
That's good.
Because you
Thanks a
guys
lot.
don't have the commercials yet, so I don't get interrupted.
Oh, I don't think we'll ever get to the. We may
I don't
get
like
to
to
the
get
point where there's
interrupted.
commercials, but for the most part, we're going to try and keep it commercial free.
Because it's just more enjoyable. You know, you're like getting in the moment,
Agreed.
and then it's like, oh shit, this stupid thing.
Oh, that's the worst.
I mean, there's other ways to get advertisement and stuff instead of
Why
By that
did you guys
swag,
want to
baby.
do this to begin with?
inconveniencing our viewers and listeners.
Yeah, we've gotten
whose
so.
idea was this?
What's that?
Whose idea was this of the podcast?
Well,
Were you guys that bored?
No, so honestly, like I came to these two guys. I'd listened to Doug Price's Agave Social Club, and I was like, I could totally do this. And I came to these guys, and they were like, yeah, we're in.
Yeah,
But
Jay and I
guys is
talked
different.
about. I'm sorry. Say it again.
You guys are different. You guys have a different point of view and different experience, so you guys make it different.
Yeah, and Jay and I had talked about doing like a podcast for years because we were partners together, back in the day when we were on the task force.
Yeah.
And then we just all three of us started to go down the tequila rabbit hole, and I'm like, tequila's like, it's kind of niche, but there's a lot of people in the space. But I thought, well, if you take our law enforcement and military and protective service experiences, and we tell funny stories, we talk shop, and then we just throw in, today we're drinking Siempre. It's great. Buy this. Don't buy that. That's where it kind of came from.
And speaking of the space, and this is something I ask everybody, because one of the things we disagree on all the time is the possibility of growth in the additive-free movement. Do you see, or do you want to see, the additive free movement grow at the same rate as the celebrity tequila is growing, or do you like it small like it is? What's your stance on the potential growth in the industry?
I feel like if it's gonna benefit those brands, then yeah, it should grow at the same level or more. I just don't understand why these celebrities can't do things the right way and go and do it from scratch. I mean, they got nothing but money and time, anyways.
I don't think they care.
Yeah,
That's
No,
probably
why
the
they care?
problem. Yeah,
for them, it's
they pretend to care, and then they brainwash everybody, and all these freaking
oh
idiots
yeah,
that
for sure.
Yeah.
they come
I
and
think,
tell me,
yeah, I
"Oh,
think they do it for the same reason why they go out and make movies sometimes that they know are horrible. They want the
Mhm.
money.
Yeah.
Oh
It's
yeah,
just, you know,
sure.
Yeah.
this script sucks. I'll be there
and,
Tuesday.
Yeah.
and you know what's
Give me
worse?
$5 million. I'll take the shitty script. You know,
The worst part is when they exaggerate numbers that don't exist.
that's yes. We
You
talk
know what I
about
mean?
that all the time.
Like honestly, like me, I could be one of those people. Like I could go with whatever little money I got left, cause I ain't got no money, but whatever little money I got left, I could go buy me followers if I wanted to. If I wanted to, and overnight you would see Agave Man's account at 60K followers. How do you do it overnight? Shit, he went from 3,000 to 60. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like
and
I could
Yeah.
be
that's
that
But they're
fake.
all in Bangladesh, and it's all a robot. It's a bot
Yeah,
farm.
and,
yeah,
and
and
and one of the biggest person that does that is The Rock. He was
Oh yeah,
discovered that he exaggerates on the sales and nobody's really buying his shit. Because no one that I talked to in Portsmouth or at the restaurant that I'm at that they drink his shit. They'll mention Casamigos and other bullshit, but they never say,
you
"Oh,
know,
I tried
years
terrible
ago,
enough."
years ago, me and
No one.
Matt, we
we were
started
the two.
off.
We
Yeah.
were the two.
We started off. Well, we know for a fact that The Rock sold 2 bottles of Terramana. One was the Matt and one was the me.
Right?
we downed those bottles for that 3 years.
Yes.
That was right after COVID or during COVID.
Yeah, right
Yeah,
after.
we downed those bottles during COVID, and that's probably the last 2 bottles he sold. But
Hey, during
from
COVID, I
that,
was blessed because all the brands that mess with me send me tequila, mezcal. I didn't have to buy shit. I was getting drunk for free for 4 months. I didn't work.
Nice.
Me and my
Nice.
wife, Sippiruu, and because you
and
know
that's
esta
one of the
testa
things.
cabrona and shit.
And that's one of the things that we talk about here. And one of the differences, I don't necessarily want to see the additive free movement go into my local bar. I like it at my bar. I like it at Matt's house. I
Yeah.
like it at Ash's house.
Yeah,
I feel excited when I go out somewhere and see 1 or 2. I don't
right.
necessarily want to see it grow to the point where
'Cause
it's
you won't.
everywhere all the time.
Well, you won't trust it then.
I
Yeah.
won't trust it. I won't trust it then. Exactly.
But I think what additive free will morph into is just transparency and labeling.
Yeah.
And I know that Grover just posted something about this the other day on Instagram.
Yes.
For those who don't know, Grover is the guy who him and his wife created.
Grover is the shit.
He's the man.
Everybody
Yeah.
should support Grover.
Yeah, but he's the one who created Tequila Matchmaker and the Additive Free Alliance. But I think ultimately what it will blend
I love
into
that
is
app.
just and
Me
it's just
too.
like, hey, this is what's in our tequila. Like, hey, Rock, what do you got? We've got oak additive. Okay, cool, thank you. That's all I needed to know. So I think and so they talked about, Grover said they're going to start doing chemical lab analysis right from the bottles right here in the United States. They literally played right into his hand.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Because he's so much more dangerous now, not in Mexico, not driving out to distilleries, not getting samples. He's just going to go to the store, buy your tequila that you say is additive free, have the lab analyze it, and find that the glycerin levels are through the roof, and you're done.
Okay, but there
Put it
will
in
come a
blast.
time. So what sets him different, what set him apart when he was in Mexico is somebody, if he starts doing that here, will go on and start doing the same thing. He won't be the only person doing it like he was the only person before doing it. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
And how funny is
will
it that
grow
they
to the
send the
point
whole
where
Yeah, but I don't know that anybody else is like extremely passionate that way in the
Yeah.
in the
Yeah.
US, where they're going to go
it's the U.S., man.
whether it's the
Somebody will be.
entrepreneurship and just somebody trying to make a quick buck. But no, I don't think anybody's as passionate
and he
to
does it for
create.
free.
Yeah.
Yeah. I
Well,
don't
he
know.
doesn't do it for free.
I just
people will be
he's-
like, "Hey, charge something, brother."
Yeah, he doesn't do it for free.
I just think
he
he's
doesn't have another job. That means he's getting paid for doing that.
Well,
But he cares.
You can donate to the app to help keep it.
I 100% understand. And
my point is, I think he's way more dangerous now living in Florida
Especially
than
after
he
that
was
raid.
living in Palakapaki.
That
he
weak
was
ass
the only
raid.
person there. When you're the outlier, when you're the only one doing it, when you're on your own, you have more status. Like he is the godfather of the movement, not because he lives in Florida, but because he said, let's take it to the front line. That's what got him where he is now, because he took it to the front line. When you come back off the front line, you're no longer the only person doing it.
But now he's still on the front line. He's just in a different location.
Yeah.
And he's grown it now from
he's grown it now so he can work it from behind the scenes.
Yeah,
but he's not on the front line.
And he's got the protection of the American government, law enforcement, the State Department.
But him not having the protection is what set him apart from everybody else. Him looking the man in the face and saying, I'm in your backyard fucking with your product and letting the people know that that's what gave him the power that he had. Is because he was doing it in their face. Anybody can stand behind a computer in the comfort of the air conditioning of America and talk shit. But you talk shit in Guadalajara, you got some balls, son.
Not anymore. The UK is going to start. The UK is going to start hammering those keyboard warriors.
You got some balls if you can do that shit. And it's like I have this poster in my man cave, and it talks about how it says social media has made you guys real too comfortable talking shit without somebody getting punched in the face.
Right.
He was talking shit in punch in the face reach.
But it's like you used to say, like, imagine someone from Pakistan moves to Texas and says, fuck football and apple pie and Jesus.
Football, fuck all it, fuck this flag. Yeah, you're gonna get it. But he was
you might have your car flat, your tires flattened in the parking lot of a Walmart.
So on this topic, what are your thoughts on the whole raid?
I thought it's a fucking joke. That's what they do down there. It's just all a show.
Don't you think it could have been the chance that they were trying to like warn him in a way? Like the government was like, hey, you got to go, dude.
And I'm glad he wasn't there. Because people in Mexico are dirty like that. When you mess with them like that, they're dirty.
Well, people in the world are dirty like that.
Yeah,
but
anytime you mess with money,
you mess with somebody's money,
people are always going to be dirty.
People are going to get. I get dirty if you mess with my money, and I only got $5 left after this trip to Europe.
I'm born in Mexico, but I consider myself more American because I've been here for like 38 years of my life, so I'm more of the United States than Mexico,
Right.
Got it.
I don't care who gets pissed. I'm still born in Mexico, but I'm more. If shit hit the fan, I'm gonna be on this side of the world.
Well, sure. Well, the easiest way to answer that question is,
you know what I mean?
Who are you rooting for in the Olympics?
If I had to pick, I guess the
You were out there
US, but I
saying,
ain't even watch it.
hey.
To be honest, I don't waste my time.
That's the greatest thing about the Olympics. It's the one time where everybody, no matter what you feel about the country, everybody comes together for that 2 weeks every 4 years.
I ain't watched it.
Chants USA, nonstop.
I saw a reel on Instagram depicting this whole thing that you're talking about.
Yeah, because it's true.
But it literally has two black guys.
Yeah.
And they're complaining about how bad America is. And then all of a sudden the Olympics come on. They're in red, white, and blue. And they're like...
Yeah.
Yeah, but that's the truth.
I don't like that.
That's the truth. Everybody in the country complains about our country is... it's just a country full of brothers.
I think what it is...
We like to beat each other up and talk shit about each other. But if somebody else from another neighborhood comes over and says something to your brother,
I also think
down.
I also think it depends on the sport. Because
honestly,
if we're... Go ahead.
Like a lot of my good close friends, they're military people from the U.S., they're law enforcement people like you guys and a bunch of other people I know. And I got a lot of friends that have been on my stuff that are military special forces, American, non-Mexican. They honestly been, especially through my daughter's stuff, they've been here for me more than my own race, my own family. And it's like,
That's awesome.
And this is why I consider myself more, United States, because America's the whole continent and it's even Mexico, but people get it all confused. But I'm more United States, not just because of that, because I didn't know it when I became a U.S. citizen, and I take it very serious that you have to be loyal to whatever you commit. You have to be loyal to the end.
Yep.
And
Yeah,
if it came,
absolutely.
and it came from me choosing sides, I'm gonna be on this side of the fence.
Right.
When
I
shit
think
hits
most
the fan.
everybody would. Yeah.
I always tell my friends, I go, I hate to break the news to some of my friends who, they're white, they lean right. I'm like, Mexico's America. I mean, like, Mexicans are America. I mean, we're all on the same
North
continent.
America, hello.
Yeah, like,
What are you talking about here?
I go, you go south of the border, dude. They don't give a shit your skin color. You're there to spend money. You're there
No, they
to have a
don't
good
care.
time.
And they
Like,
love
come on, man.
whiskey.
We have so much more in common than we have different. But what I was saying was, I think with the Olympics, it's the sport.
Yeah,
If you're
it's
watching
just
a 1500
ridiculous.
meter dash, you're rooting USA. But if you're born in Mexico and it's soccer and it's it's Mexico versus USA, dude, you might have to fly the Mexican flag on that one.
It was. I tell you what. When
They
I
both
was,
suck.
I was at the steeplechase. So it's a 1500-meter or however long steeplechase. This is maybe my second day at the Olympics.
This is just this last couple weeks.
This is just like
In
4
Paris.
days ago.
Okay.
Yeah. So this was Thursday. So it's steeplechase. So it's probably 25 people running from probably 20 different countries, and it's a little guy sitting next to me on my left who it's track, so it's 20 different events going on at the same time, and everybody is yelling for every event for their country, and it's this little guy next to me wrapped in the flag from Bahrain. He hasn't said one thing the entire time. The steeplechase comes up and he says in his broken English, "This is my event. This is my woman. She's going to win." I've never seen his face lit up so much over this steeplechase. And this guy, he was the only person in the stadium floating this flag.
That's awesome.
And she won that gold. He lost his shit.
That's awesome.
And everybody around him from every country was so happy. They were taking pictures. They were jumping on him. We're high-fiving. I mean, we were so happy for him and his victory from his country. He came all the way over here for this one race, and it brought us together. But that's kind of the same thing.
Yeah.
We're all so much closer than you think.
Right.
We're all so much.
Yeah.
We care for each other more than our politics makes it seem that.
Yeah. Well, and more than the media makes it seem too.
We are closer and care for each other more than our politics make it seem we do.
Correct.
And when you're around other people that don't take our politics as seriously as we do, they're the same way. They feel the same way.
And it's also it's not the black versus the white or the brown versus the white. It's the rich versus the poor.
Yeah.
Or just the rich versus us who have to go work for a living.
Yep.
Exactly.
That's true.
But no matter what, we can all agree, Australia does not know how to break dance.
I don't know.
Greatest. I'll tell you what,
the internet remains undefeated with the memes.
You know who won the Olympics? Snoop Dogg.
Yes.
Snoop Dogg.
OG.
He is one of the greatest. I've said this before, and I will say it again. Snoop Dogg is the greatest entertainer we have ever had in this country. You can't go from being a drug dealing, murdering, fuck the police
gangster
to being on Sesame Street with Martha Stewart at the White House and NBC using you as their spokesman for the Olympics in the same life, crip walking through Paris. That's the bad man. Nobody else has spanned that much.
He took the gold in PR.
Right.
He is what he has done is unbelievable.
But let me ask you guys a question. How crazy is that we're sitting here today because of tequila?
It's a beautiful thing.
It's absolutely
tequila,
beautiful.
nothing else, just tequila.
Yeah.
And Ash talks about that all the time. Ash talks about how tequila, how when it's grown and when it breathes and when it takes everything in, how it was created to bring people together
Yeah.
to have this type of communion.
Something that people will criticize as a bad addiction, and they'll say you're an alcoholic, you don't know why you're doing the devil stuff, and it's like it's not what you used to have back in the day. It's changed a lot.
Well, and not only that, but I mean, just to kind of caveat on, it's the devil's stuff. Like, if you think about it, like Jesus turned water into wine.
Exactly.
Water into Gatorade.
It doesn't matter what spirit it is. If you're coming together as a community, you're coming together as a family, and you're breaking bread, and you're having.
And if I can make a quick point on that, this whole tequila community, when I was struggling with my daughter's fight, a lot of you guys came through. And I didn't even know you guys at the time. And I was like, who are these guys? Like why are they showing this love? They don't even know me.
Well, and I think that not only that comes from our love of tequila and seeing everything of how the agave brings people together, but also that's our background in law enforcement, is that, we care for brotherhood, and, bleeding that over into the agave side, like that's, you're our brother.
And it's also, it's really not tequila. It's the human factor. It's that we're all walking in these shoes, and we've all had our, I've had my losses. You've had your, I can't even imagine the loss you're going through right now with your daughter passing.
My heart is trying to heal, but it's hard.
Yeah. This stuff is just the glue that kind of binds it together. It's just that couple of that social lubricant that over the dinner table, when we're over at the house somewhere or we're out at a bar.
Yeah.
It's that ability to just bring a story out, to bring people together. And the bottom line is, it's like, if you drank tequila and turn into an asshole, you're probably going to drink anything and turn. It's just, that's on you. If you got a problem with booze, then you got to take care of that. But that aside, I mean, this is just a social lubricant. And I find that the world of tequila, the science behind it, the artistry, the fact that it comes from this beautiful region of the world, from these beautiful people, these people that just, we kind of like, we're all kind of like that. We're all born, we live, and then we come to an end. And what happens at the end, we're not sure. But man, we get to talk about it over this thing. And the fact, like, some agave was born, seeded, cloned, distilled. It's like, what was the journey of that? And what the cool thing with tequila is, like, you can literally go to the Mexican government and trace it back to the field where it was formed. There's this whole journey that the tequila takes you on, and then it's like we're kind of on the same journey too, all together. So I just think it's the human factor, and then like a little bit of the tequila or the booze or whatever that is. That's the glue that kind of binds it.
Yeah. And it's what unites us, because we love that stuff, and it's like we want to get the best.
Yeah,
absolutely.
I am. One of the things it does for me is as I've told you guys before, I am a textbook Psych 101 introvert. Like, being around people more than one or two, I'm happy with one. I can deal with two. Anything more than that is too many people for me. It exhausts me, just like it would an introvert. It's not that I'm not capable of being social. It's exhausting, right? I'm an introvert.
It is.
But one of the things about this and this community is, I don't mind being in a room at the Flamingo with 17 of us. It's cool. I mean, I
one of them is wearing a mask
and talk to my daughter and do that stuff. But at the same time, it allows me to, for that 2 hours while we're having that, while we're at Mysterio or while we're somewhere,
right,
I can still be around a room full of people and not feel uncomfortable, because I know we all have in common this one thing, this one love of agave that can help me go 2 hours, because I'm not going 2 hours in a room with people. I'm not doing that shit without it.
Yeah.
Nobody's fighting.
And then I'm the extrovert,
Yeah.
You just add a little bit of that, and I'll go all, I'll be going all night. I'll be dancing on the table that you guys moved and over to the window.
And I'm the in between guy.
Smash. Yeah.
I can be extrovert. I can be introvert. I can do it all.
Let me dance. Where the music at?
So what? So tell us what in Portsmouth, and I know Portsmouth, and I know Matt probably does too because he's.
Yeah.
I know that area.
Ain't shit here.
I mean, what's the tequila scene in Portsmouth, or is it all pickup
Dude,
truck and
Before
beer?
me, there wasn't shit. In the last 2 years, I've changed that liquor store. Like every time I request something, they look at me like I was born yesterday, and I'm like, just freaking order this shit. Like, man, like what is G4?
Even if I'm the person that's buying all the bottles,
It's still worth
when it comes in, it's still worth it.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
just get these
So,
bottles.
like,
I'll make sure they move off your shelf.
In our area, it's very control state. So then I requested G4 like forever, and finally after 6 months, it's solid on the store. And thanks to me, and I hate to exaggerate and taking the credit, but it's all me. Even if you ask the guy at the liquor store, I ordered the G4, so G4 is at the liquor store now because of me. And
Good
now
for
they
you.
got Lalo because of me.
Good.
And I'm like, if I see this shit in Columbus, why can Portsmouth, that is 1 hour and 45 minutes, have it? It's just stupid that we can't have it.
Right.
Any bottle that's
true.
up there, we should be able to have it down here.
Well, I agree, and so like I'm from Ashland originally, which is even smaller than Portsmouth.
Is that in
And-
Ohio or Kentucky?
Ohio.
Yeah, I passed through there when we used to take my daughter to treatment.
Yeah, so it's in between Columbus and Cleveland,
Yeah.
And the last time I was home, like the two additive free options at the state liquor store in my hometown are Trace Agaves,
Yeah.
which isn't
okay.
bad.
It's okay, but it's not all that.
Yeah, I mean, if that's the option that I have, then yeah, I'm going to take it. And then Lalo, and of course I'm going to take Lalo over Trace Agaves, but
any day.
I'll take them both. And just the fact that they had those two options in a small Midwest town, like I was like, I'm happy.
So if you go to a bar or restaurant in Portsmouth, what are the chances on you finding something there? We have a couple places where we can go around here.
You're going to find zero.
Yeah.
You're going to find Patron, Don Julio, and Jose Cuervo in 1800. That's it. They don't know shit. And then when I tell them, they get mad at me. So then I have to drink whiskey.
It's my new favorite.
I got to drink whiskey because they don't know shit.
Oh, yeah. We've got a couple places here where we can go now.
I went to a Mexican restaurant bar in Cleveland. I was very disappointed because I asked the bartender, and she was a Latina, and I'm like, yo, can you make me a paloma? And she looked at me like I was stupid. And I'm like, seriously? Like, I could teach you how to make it. And then I look at her tequila selection, and I was like, in Cleveland? What is this freaking trash? Like, he had nothing.
And it's funny that you say that because last weekend we had went to a place which is not far from where I live right now. And they had this drink, and it was, I think, vodka or gin infused. And it was basically a paloma, but without tequila.
Yeah. And
we asked the server, we were like, hey, can we just substitute tequila and, make it a paloma? And he's like, no, we can't. And I was like,
what?
I was like, are you serious? He goes, no, it's infused. And I was like, I don't care about the infusion. Can we just substitute it for tequila? And he's like, no. Well, it just so happens that I'd met the owner, and we got the owner over there, and I was like, hey, can we just get a paloma? Like, we just wanted to sub this out. Yeah. And he's like, all you want is a paloma? And he's like, I'll make sure you get a paloma.
Yeah, I'm trying to find this restaurant in Cleveland I went to that had a pretty good selection. I'm looking for the picture.
That was the tacos place.
Yeah, send
Yeah.
me the name. I'll go check it out.
There was one, and then there was another one downtown I sent a picture of.
Are you now to the point where you, like, I don't even go to some restaurants if their tequila selection is just sucky?
Yeah, I don't.
Yeah.
I don't, honestly. And that's
I
why I
don't want
bring
to be
my stuff.
I don't want to be so snobby. I mean, like,
You are.
But it's
I don't
stupid
know.
that they can't carry the good stuff.
Well,
And, and
there's some cool little bars here in Vegas, and then like like one
yeah,
place, and they only have beer. I'm like,
even
whatever, I'll have a
Vegas,
beer.
a lot of places suck in Vegas.
A lot of yeah, a lot of. There's not a huge like you go to some of the major neighborhood pubs, and you're just like, there's nothing up there, but
No, they suck
okay, maybe
ass.
Patron. Oh, we're fine. I'll have a Patron and soda.
I think we need to go and change all their minds. Like group up and just go to bar every state and just. I think that's how we're gonna change it.
Just turn into an agave mob and be like,
Yeah,
yo,
because otherwise it's not gonna
Which,
happen. They're not gonna
which
care.
would be a good segue into my next question is
Go for
instead
it.
of an agave mob, tell us about Agave Squad.
Yes. So this is 2016, and me and a friend from Mexico, Carlos, were like, bro, like we need a group because like at that time nobody had shit. I don't care what anybody says. We were the first. Nobody had nothing. There was no podcasts. There was no LA club. There was nothing. No, and people can vouch for that. I'm not making shit up. So we're like, we need a group, and we're like, what should we come up with? And he's like, oh, Agave Squad. And I was like, oh, that sounds like a good sound. I was like, let's do it. But then we just started recruiting people, and we didn't know how to really recruit people. And at the time, we're like still very, very rookies, and you get everybody, and people get pissed about any shit, and it's like, damn, like, this is not what we want.
So how many original members are there of the Agave
Are
Squad?
still remaining?
Yeah.
I would say about 6 to 7. There's Sergeant Agave, and then there's Aged Agave. I know you guys are familiar with Aged Agave because
Yep.
he's all over the place.
That's Greg.
Yeah, Greg is the shit. Shout out, homie.
Yeah.
Rudy from Tequila Snobs,
Yep.
and then there's Lupe from California, and then
Yep.
there's Lauren from her shit is the bomb.
Yeah,
She's
Florida, yeah.
And then there is trying to think real quick. Shit, you put me on the spot. There's one of you comrades from Austin,
Tommy.
Texas. He's a police officer, the Austin
Oh, yeah,
connoisseur.
yeah.
Yeah, Bryce, and then
Bryce. There you go, Bryce. Sorry, Bryce. I love you, Bryce. And then there's my homie from Atlanta, Sip Tequila. He's the shit. Shout out to him. And then we have now we have Pyro. Pyro is the one hosting the event, Sabor en Cultura.
That's going to be a great event. There's so many
people
brands
were
there.
laughing at his shit. They were like, "What is this shit?" And then look at how many brands he got.
70, and then
they thought it was a joke.
The majority are tequila, but there's a few mezcal brands in there.
He got some solid mezcal brands.
Oh yeah, yeah.
If you guys remember, I reviewed the list of the tequilas, and
yeah, that was a great reel, by the way.
And they didn't have any other brands that were trash, and I was like, "This is the shit," because this list doesn't have any garbage in it.
Well, no, and he was primarily picky with brands coming in.
Yeah.
Very selective, and from my understanding, the board that is with him, the multiple members of Sabor,
yes,
he had a lot of input on the brands that were going to come in, and he, there was even a lot of brands that he's just like, look, we have a lot of brands already, like unfortunately, like we can't have you.
Oh, he added a few more.
I know, I saw.
I told him, you gotta add Prolijo because that mezcal is dangerous. You gotta have that shit.
I don't know if I want dangerous alcohol.
To join the Agave Squad, you got to stab yourself with an agave and
I am not kidding.
Take a shot of tequila.
Are all of you guys going to the event?
Dangerous mezcal at the Flamingo?
Yes.
You did?
Was that the
Yeah, that's the one that Danny had.
I have a bottle of it.
Dude,
No. The one that Danny brought.
Yeah, that Danny brought.
No. It was literally the one he brought from the still.
Got it.
It was like 50%.
Was that the one that I drank and I knocked the COVID loose in my lungs?
Yes.
Yeah.
Are you guys all going to the event or just one of you guys?
Just this guy.
Just the Matt.
No, I'm renovating my house
What's the date?
So
Well,
there's no way I
you
can
ain't gonna
break away.
get pictures with this handsome fella.
Are you going to be there?
Yes, sir.
Nice.
I'll get them.
I'm VIP guest.
Me too.
I got you guys something. I hope you like it.
I'm sure we will.
I'll bring it back for you guys.
Otherwise, give it to somebody. Don't throw it away, please.
That'll never happen.
If they don't like it, I'll take it.
Right? That's what's up.
I mean, you know I support you.
Hey, no, I appreciate all you guys, honestly.
All right. You got one more question, Matt?
Whatever you guys want to ask.
Yeah. So we see a lot of fitness stuff on your page as well. CrossFit, normal. What's your normal workout regimen?
I get up at 4:54 a.m. Let the dogs out first, and then get my regimen started, my water and shit, and then get ready for the gym. So I hit that 5:30 a.m. workouts in Portsmouth, Ohio, at the PSKC.
CrossFit or normal?
Huh?
Is it CrossFit or normal?
No, it's CrossFit. PSKC.
Okay.
That's the gym. It's
Nice.
veteran owned.
Oh, very cool.
That guy does done a lot for the community. Dale King, shout out, homie.
Where can everyone find you? What are your social media handles?
Agave Man. That's it. Instagram.
All right.
Got right now. And then I have the mask one on YouTube, but I haven't finished videos. But they can subscribe to it. Eventually, I'm gonna drop some more videos on there.
And you can get the Agave Man t-shirts off your Instagram.
I'm actually gonna do another round on them because people keep requesting them. But this time, it's not the money's not gonna come to me. It's gonna go to a pet shelter that my daughter loves so much. Michelle, before she passed away, she adopted a dog from there, and I want to support them and show love for her through that.
Nice.
And that was your daughter's name was Michelle?
Yeah, we call her Mitchie.
Okay, Mitchie.
Yeah.
So the new t-shirts will be coming out.
Well, it'll be the same one, the mask ones, because people keep requesting that right now. But eventually, I want to do the mask that she designed. I want to put those in a shirt next. After
Right
that
on.
design. The ones
That'd be
we did
nice.
for this.
That'll be nice.
The sun mask, basically, I call it the sun mask because it has a sun. But that's my goal next, like towards the fall and winter. Put those on a shirt or hoodie or something in her honor. But
Yeah.
also going to the pet shelter, so not like to us, because you gotta give back. People help you, so
Yep.
you gotta give back out.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and in her
Awesome.
honor too. So plus,
Absolutely.
there's a bunch of other kids going through it. It's just not her. So
Right.
Absolutely.
she's not the only one that went through all that stuff. So people that I know.
Well, let us know how we can help, and we'd be happy to help.
No, definitely. I appreciate you guys for having me on. And I love your podcast and I love what you guys do. And thank you for the support and love,
Appreciate it. And we love you, and we love your content. And
Yeah.
Thank
Good
you.
stuff.
Salute.
Salute, my friend. All right.
Brother.
Get out to
Hasta la
Vegas soon.
vista.
Yeah, get out to Vegas.
Let's go.
All right.
Next time. Peace out.